So let's start from the beginning. Uh, this is the main screen when you switch on the computer and your projector is on. Now, there are times when you click on the board and there are times when the click doesn't take place in the right position. At those times, we need to orient the particular software. To orient the software, we'll go to All Programs, Smart Technologies, Smart Tools, and there is a Product Driver Orient option out here. We'll just click on that. It will give us 4 places on the 4 corners of the board where we need to take the stylus and point at the center of the plus sign. Once that is done, the orientation is taken place and the click comes at the right place. Now, let's just assume that we have to do one mouse left click. When I just click once in the board, it is a mouse left click. And if I hold the stylus for some time and a circle comes over there and that's a mouse right click. So you have both the mouse left click and the right click action done on the board itself. You don't need to go to the mouse. Now for keyboard also, you have a keyboard being provided by the software itself. You can use this keyboard if you are familiar with it. Else you can always come back to the keyboard, which is a wireless keyboard that we get, and you can use a wireless keyboard on your table and work with it. Either option is fine. So now, yes, it's over here. You need to click on this, drag it, right? Now I'll just start off with the notebook software. So where exactly you'll see over here Smart Notebook 14. This is the actual link to start up the software. Now I've just created a presentation in this Smart Notebook 14 and I've saved it out here. It's called demo.notebook. The extension of this file which gets saved from Smart Notebook software is .notebook. Like we have a .doc, .docx. This is .notebook. So I'll just open that .notebook file. Now I have a few slides out here just to demonstrate a little few of the capabilities of the software. Now when we look on the top, we find the regular menus that you see. Let's just consider this as Microsoft Word document. In the Word document also you get a bar on the top which has all the shortcuts for the all various activities that you can do on the Word document. On top of that you have the menu like File, Edit, View, Insert, Format, Tools, Add-ons, Help. In File you have something as Save and Save as, Export as. These are very important functionalities. What happens is, suppose you create a presentation and you would like to save it as a PPT. This gets converted into a PPT. So what we are trying to say over here is each and every presentation that you do on the notebook software, you can export it to any format that you would like to and then present it to the end user. So it's not necessary that you have to go into a Microsoft Word, Microsoft presentation. You can get everything inside the software itself. You, yeah. So coming back to this, uh, now we got file, edit, view, insert, format, tools, add-ons, help. Below that, now here we have undo, redo. This is a new uh, slide sign. A new slide has been added where the cursor is there. You want to delete it, this slide gets deleted. That's a cross mark. Saving, open, the same thing which we see in Word document. Almost the same kind of an icon is there over there. This brings your presentation onto a full screen mode. So suppose you have already created a presentation and you would like to go into a full screen mode. This particular slide comes on a full screen and you want to go to the next slide, you can work on any slide you want. Just like a PowerPoint presentation, when you click on F5, it goes into a full screen mode. I'm back to editing my presentation right now. Here you see a screen capture uh, a tool which allows you to capture a screen. Now, so I have captured the screen and you see that that particular screen has come inside one of the presentations. So this is very much useful because you don't have to go and do a print screen every time you want to capture the screen in front of you. The video recording is recording the entire thing as a video. But what if you want to capture one particular screen and that's it? That is when you will be using the screen capture, right? Uh, it will be an image which will be, sorry, I'll take you to that. Mhm. It's an image and one new slide along with the image is come now. So this is an image which usually if you put do a screen capture and you go into paint and you do a control V, that screen capture comes over there. With my tool, it automatically comes in one of the slide out there. Yes, yes, yes. The software. Now, this is a table option where you create a custom table. Now, suppose in a presentation you want to say that you want to create this much columns and let's say this much rows, a table. So you just select how much you want out of it, and that much table will be available out here, right? So you can add text to it. So these are the headers that we put, and we can put any content that you want. So you get all this option that you see in an Excel also. You can merge cells, split cells, delete cells, insert row. So similar to an Excel kind of a thing, you can get it out here into your presentation. Now, this one that you see out here is a document camera. What exactly is a document camera? Now, suppose in a dentistry class, if there's a very small thing which the professor would like to show to the last person sitting in the class, he won't be able to show it directly like that because the person cannot see it. So there is a document camera which looks just like this one. So he would be taking his hand right underneath the camera, and the camera would see the image and magnify it and put it onto the screen. So the person sitting on the last row, yeah, yeah, right. So the person sitting on the last row can see what exactly you are having in your hand. Over here, you will have to actually connect the document camera, which is an external component which will come inside. Uh, this is a math tool wherein you have your ruler, your protractor, compass, yeah, and this is a recording one. The recording one is already going on over here. Mhm. So this is mainly because of the machine which is being used. Yes. If the machine being used, it got less speed, and the processor speed is not that great, and the RAM is not that good. So yes, this particular thing, it does sometimes create an issue. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. So in the recording thing, you're seeing a pause, a stop button, a recording button. So as and when you start recording, the time gets noted down. And once you click on the stop button, you will get an option to save the file. So once the entire presentation is recorded, you can save the file even on a pen drive or an external drive that you connect to the computer. Hmm. So what we'll do is right now, I'll take you through a few more details. This is the arrow button which should always be pressed whenever you are doing any kind of an action on top of the particular application. Now suppose uh, I'm trying to write something, the selection goes to the pen and not to the arrow. So there, if I try to do any kind of a movement, or it becomes difficult because the arrow is not selected. So when I use the arrow, I'll be able to do any kind of a selection out there. And when I want to write, that is when I'll change the cursor type and I'll put it to a pen. Yes. So yes, yes, yes. That is one part where you have to, yeah, yeah. That is one place where you need to just take care. This is a pen. The pen button, it gives you different color. You can select whichever color you want. This is a little bit of design. Yes, yes. This is a little bit of design that you can add on to it. Thickness. Uh, let's see. Shape recognition. You see here, I'll select this and I'll say, right. So you have the option out here, and over here you'll have to select. This will push it up or down. So if I click on this and you want the entire menu to be down, yeah, yeah, equivalent to that. So all your menus are down, so you don't have to actually click on the top to access anything. Yes. Yeah, yeah. So correct, 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 correct. So you can just click on any option out there and then you can continue with your work. The gear options, like I told you, that there are more add-ons to this. Whichever you find missing up there, sorry, down here, you can add it from this particular place. So now I'll move on to the eraser. because this is the main thing. Because once you have written something and you want to erase something, the duster, you can just select this and you can select the size. So you have three different sizes out here. Now, suppose I want to erase entire thing out here. I'll just select the entire thing and erase it. This one is not erasable. I'll explain to you why that is not erasable also, right? So if I say yes, now why is it that that is not getting erased? Because that is transformed into an object, right? Now, what do I mean by transformed into an object? Now, let's just say that I have written something through my hand and not using the keypad. Now, let's say I select the pen, and in the pen, I select text pen. I click on text pen and I start writing something. It converts it into text. Yes. So this is a pen icon which has to be first selected, and then here ABC, it tells what exact pen do you want to use. I was in pen before. Now I selected text pen. What does text pen do? Text pen just identifies what you have written, converts it into text. So suppose you are taking a class and you are comfortable by writing rather than typing. So you can just keep writing something on the board and it will recognize that and bring it into. Yes, 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 yes. So if I say it's wrong, no, it tells me then what exactly it is. Yeah, G, correct. Oh, yeah. So this is one of the feature of the text pen that you use. Calligraphic. It's a stylish writing. It brings a bit of a font variation to it. Now, there's something else which is very good in this, apart from the other ones which are already there. There's something as a magic pen. Now, suppose you are teaching to a class and you tell them one word and you want them to remember it. So I'll tell that the word is suppose WORD, and I tell that this is the word which I want you people to remember. After some time, it vanishes. You can ask what was the word which I just wrote. So this is something which teachers use most of the time, where they write something on the board and they say, okay, now this is the word, remember it. And after some time, they want to ask the same word to the students. They can use this pen. It remains for few seconds. It vanishes. It's called magic pen. The shape recognition, sir, it's more towards I put a line. So these are the various things that you have in the pen option. So you have to select the pen option out here. You have to select which pen you would like to work with, and you can start working. Right now, I'll go back to my next slide. So there are various galleries which are available along with the software. Uh, for this, sir, I would have to request you to actually go through the content which is already present, because we would not know how much of the content would match your syllabus. So these are the contents and these are the galleries which are already present. There is arts, English language, lessons, activity toolkit, examples, graphics, pages, tools. Yeah. So these are the options available over here. When you come to this option, it comes to the existing slide or presentation in which you are working. This one takes you to the gallery. This is attaching a file, inserting a file, fill effects, patterns, the different add-ons that you can connect out here. So main is you will be going between these two, that is gallery and the new presentation. Now this is one of the 3D images which is available in the lessons toolkit of SMART. When I click on this, you get various handles out here. Now with this handle, I can move it in different direction I want, right? This handle I can turn it. This is a 3D image which is available in the lessons toolkit. Yeah, any object also, in the object, when you click on the object, if you get this, automatically those features will be activated for that object also. Yeah, yeah, I can give it a try, but you won't get a 3D kind of a thing out there. You will have perspective to change it. So you'll have these handles which are there over here. This size, yes, a little bit you will have over there, but you won't have all this 3D kind of effect happening for those images. Correct. This is another important thing, the arrow mark. And with the arrow mark, you get this much options. These are one more thing which you should look at. The lock feature makes it, if you have two, three objects, you can lock them together and then you can group them also. So it's something like grouping so that all of them, they move together. Paste, delete, clone, reset location, enter 3D scan, disguise, right? So this entire thing, no sir. There is they should provide a manual, but we don't have a printed manual as such. We have good number of videos on YouTube, yes, which explains all this. Now, okay, come to slide 3, slide 4. We have gone through this. We'll so this is a place where I could have showed you more capabilities. This is a browser inside your presentation. Okay, there are times where you require a browser. Now let's just say that you're taking a class and you have certain content which is available in Wikipedia, and you would like those contents to be copied and brought onto your presentation. Instead of coming out to the software and going to a Firefox or going to a Chrome, we'll just insert a browser out here. For that, I'll go to insert, and there's something as an internet browser. Once I click this, automatically an internet browser comes to the particular slide. Now I've opened a new slide, insert internet browser. Now the problem over here is it's not coming simply because there is no internet connectivity. Right. I'll just pause this.